regimens sätt att hantera Tibet. Så därför framför palatset i Lhasa så lämnar han på sig själv. Så han finns inte med. Och anledningen till att jag tar upp detta tragiska fall är dels att det är vår skyldighet att minnas honom och att hans uppoffring inte försvinner i glömska. Men också för att anknyta till detta med poesi, musik, protest. Att det är många som försöker i dessa tider att skilja politik från idrott, som vi nyss såg, och politik från konst och kultur. Och vi som sitter här är eniga om att det finns ingen sån gräns, man kan inte dela på de sakerna. Med det sagt så vill jag välkomna vår första talare och vi kommer att improvisera lite grann. Jag har föreslagit att han pratar i en kvart ungefär och att vi sen får ställa lite frågor kanske för han har ett tåg att hinna med så att vi kommer att försöka på det viset. Och sen har vi även våra andra två talare som jag presenterar. Tenzin Sundu är, som många känner till, en aktivist utan dess like. Han har kämpat i stort sett hela sitt liv för den tibetanska frågan och med bas i Dharamsala i norra Indien så protesterar han så mycket och så ofta han kan och har gripits otaliga gånger av myndigheter, indiska myndigheter framförallt. Det är en man som inte låter sig skrudas på något sätt. Tenzin, it's a great honor if you would join us here. And a warm applause for Tenzin Sundu.
I'm grateful to this organization inviting me to speak here today. So there are a couple of things that I wanted to say just on the very theme. Poetry and protest. The situation in Tibet today, as we speak here, is a situation very few people can actually understand and most cannot even imagine. Because the things that I say, you will believe that it's not possible to happen in such a country you have not seen or you have not been to or you cannot go to. Nor can I. I'm a Tibetan refugee, born and brought up in India, educated there. I've come to Sweden earlier, 2000. Was it 14 or 16? 14. So you see, almost about all these years. After all these years, I'm coming here. But the situation in Tibet today is a situation which is very often written about by Western media, quoting Chinese media. Why? Because Western media are unable to find any access inside Tibet. And Western media very often are not willing to take any risk in going into Tibet. Very often they would say, well, we are not allowed. So we are talking about a country which most people have not seen, not been, and not able to access today. It is a situation where there is the absolute control by the occupying force, which is China. And we are speaking not just about Tibet, we are also talking about China's other occupied countries, like East Pakistan, Southern Mongolia, Manchuria. And then, of course, there is also the threat on Hong Kong and also China's very often projected idea that they would militarily invade Taiwan. China today is a military empire ruling over these occupied countries and also constantly expanding its empire over Africa and South America also for natural resources. China has come to many other countries in Asia in the form of investments and constantly taking over huge projects like stadiums and bridges and harbors and ports and airports. Why I'm speaking here today is because Tibet has been under Chinese occupation for 70 years. And in these 70 years, 3 generations of Tibetans are growing, and I'm right in the middle. My generation was born in India, have not seen Tibet, and now
recording in progress.
Now the 3rd generation is already in school and college. So you see, Tibet is so very far, but it's always been very close to us in our heart. We always feel that. So in such a situation, very often when we are not able to go there, physically lose that contact, what we resort to is the borrowed memory of Tibet. The memory of Tibet that our parents and grandparents said to us, and this is how we refer to that country. But there have always been constant flow of Tibetan refugees coming from Tibet through India, through Nepal, and these are the direct sources of information and also the way we know Tibet. Now, Tibetans inside Tibet, they are in a situation where they cannot talk about the situation where they are in, and therefore they very often resort to poetry. They are in a boat, and they're not supposed to talk about the situation in which that boat is. And we are talking about Tibet, about which we cannot directly show pictures of or cannot access. So you see, everything seems to be so very abstract in nature. And most importantly, today I'm speaking to such a Western audience here, whose country is directly trading with China and benefiting at the cost of Tibetan human rights. And you perhaps are the most passionate supporters of Tibet here in Sweden, and most people do not even know they wouldn't have any idea how much Sweden is trading with China and benefiting at the cost of Tibetan suffering. In Tibet today, there is absolute control by the Chinese that every individual Tibetan has become a number. They have to carry their identity card and their ration card, which are also linked to their address. And even to leave one village, go to the next, they have to register departure and also arrival. Any activity closely invigilated that, and not only this, their mobile phones, Chinese government is using the most sophisticated technology to watch over these individuals with a fear that any kind of a picture of a that may be going out. And these are interpreted by the state as selling state secrets. And such charges can be made against them. Any possession of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's picture or the Tibetan flag, we have a big one here in the house, are illegal and you can be charged criminally for this. So you see, we are talking about a country which is absolutely under persecution, and there is a situation for police state. What the Tibetans usually resort to in Tibet today is cultural resistance. There was a point of time in the past when Tibetans, usually come up into the street and raise slogans demanding freedom and praying for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the Chinese security forces would blatantly, indiscriminately, shoot at the protesters. That has come to an end today, but then a new level of protest has begun from 2009, when the first case of self-immolations started. And subsequently, more and more Tibetans resorted to burning themselves as a way of protesting against the Chinese. And up until today, with the case of Tapin, it has now come to 157 cases of self-immolations. And why it is coming to this level is because the repression. Ever since China invaded Tibet from 1970 onwards up until today, we have lost more than 1 million Tibetans. And that makes 1/6 of Tibetan population. 1/6 of Tibetans have died under Chinese repression. What I feel frustrated about the Western countries is everybody talks about human rights and humanity, but they don't do anything about it. In fact, they trade with China. China has become big economic power because of the Western countries. We didn't make them. It's the Western countries who would patronize Chinese business and got to